Okay, I'm Mr. Crawford, and I want to take the time to talk about multi-steps equations, specifically two-steps equation. First thing to know about two-steps equations is that you are going to pick the property of equality for each step. Namely, you're going to pick two of them. There's four properties of equalities to think about. First one is the addition property of equality. I'm just going to call it PO because I don't feel like writing anything else too extra. The second will be subtraction property of equality. Then you have multiplication property of equality. And finally, you have division. So with addition property of equality, you will start, or your equation starts with subtraction. With subtraction, equation starts with addition. Notice the opposites. Multiplication, you are, I will say you have a fraction. You are at the end with a fraction coefficient variable pair, okay? And I'm just going to say CV for coefficient variable pair. All right, and I can put this up here. And then POE equals property of equality. And with division, you have a decimal or whole number coefficient variable pair at the end. All right. So before I can jump into two-step equations, I do have to give examples with one-step equations. So let's do an addition property of equality problem. So I'm going to put, let's say, K, that's my variable, plus 7 is equal to, let's say, 12. By following addition rules or acting like this K is a box, we know that it's automatically 5. So, oh snap. It should have been K minus 7. But I'm going to go ahead and do the subtraction property of equality first so I won't mess up my paper. Since I'm starting with an addition sign, I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to put minus 7. Notice, under the plus 7, I put a minus 7. Under the 12, I put the same minus 7. Please make sure you look here. As you can see right here, I have that negative 7 is equal to negative 7. So I just cross these out and I put K is equal to 5. Or I can have it written like this. 7 plus K is equal to 12. Then here, even though I don't have the plus sign, if I have no sign, it means plus. So I'm going to put negative 7 equals negative 7. Cross those two out so I can have my k by itself. And k is also equal to 5. Or I can also have the 12 on the left-hand side of the equal sign and the 7 plus k on the right-hand side of the equal sign. It just all depends. Now we're going to do addition property of equality for real. Now we're going to do k minus 7 is equal to 12. Then we're going to put plus 7 because the opposite of minus is plus. Then we're going to put plus 7 on the other side. And the reason why we're putting plus 7 on the other side because we want to show that plus 7 is equal to plus 7. Cross these out because I want the k by itself. Then I'm going to get 19. And then I'm going to do one more version. This will be the same problem. Negative 7 plus k is equal to 12. All right. Remember on the last problem, we had a minus 7, which is the same as negative 7 right here. Then we put plus k because k did not have a sign. So we'll do plus 7 equal to plus 7. Cross these out. Put k is equal to 19. So that's the one-step version of addition and subtraction. Let's go ahead and check. So I said k was equal to 5. 5 plus 7, that's equal to 12. Again, I said k was equal to 5. 7 plus 5, that's equal to 12. Now I say that k is equal to 19. 19 minus 7 is equal to 12. Then I said that k was 19 again. Negative 7 plus 19 is equal to 12. And you can test that out on a calculator and see how that works. Now, what I like about the last two properties, the multiplication property of equality and the division property of equality, is that I really don't have to use it twice to show what I'm doing. Now, let's say if you have multi-step equations and you land to 3/5, let's say t is equal to, let's just say 9. So to do this problem, what I'm going to do is rewrite this 3/5 t. Then I'm going to multiply by 5/3. And this is why I say use the multiplication property of equality for problems where you have a fraction as the coefficient in the coefficient variable pair. So notice the coefficient is the number 3/5 and the variable is t. Put them together, you have a coefficient variable pair because this pair has two parts. The coefficient, which is the number, and the t, which is the variable. All right. So what I like about this trick is automatically I could just put t because the 5s, they're diagonal and they cancel out, and the 3s, they are diagonal and they cancel out. So what I could do is two things. Version number 1, I could just multiply straight across and put 45 over 3. Or I notice that 9 is diagonal to the 3, and I need 3 9s to get 2. I need three nines. Yes, I need 3 9s. So I know for every 9, for every 9 to 3 is 3 to 1. Or I could just put 3. So I need 3 9s to get this. So I can cross this out. 3 3s to get 9. My apologies. I need 3 3s to get 9. Then I do the times 5, which is 15 both ways. 3 3s to get the 9. So that's what I like about the multiplication property of equality. Now the division property of equality works the same, works in a similar fashion. I see it as much easier. So let's say I got 3.6 t equal to 72. With this, since I have either a whole number or a decimal, I can simply divide by 3.6. And when I divide, my answer will be 20. All right. Now we can get ready to solve some two-step equation problems. So right here in this box, you have a demonstration of the subtraction property of equality. Right here in this little area, you have a demonstration of the multiplication property of equality. With the two that are not boxed, these are demonstrations of the addition property of equality. And this last part that's circled, to the best of my ability, is the division property of equality. So we have division, POE, we have multiplication, I know I'm running out of space, POE, we have subtraction, POE, property of equality, and then we have addition. So make sure you see where you start off. And I'll just put some labels as a way to differentiate. All right, audience, I'm going to give examples of how two-step equations work. First, I'm going to remind you that POE is the property of equality. And I'm going to choose between using all four: the addition property of equality, the subtraction property of equality, the multiplication property of equality, and division property of equality. Notice I gave myself a lot of space to do this because I want you guys to see me move. So, first of all, since I'm starting off with a plus sign right here, in my problem, by the letter of the alphabet, which is our variable, I'm going to subtract. So I have -7, then I have the equal sign, then I'm going to have -7 again. So I have plus and minus the same number. So I just cross these out. Now I have only 3x on the left hand side. 31 minus 7, that's 24. So this is going to be subtraction POE. So this is the first step of the equation. Now the second step, I'm going to rewrite this for styling purposes. And then I'm going to divide. Understand that using a fraction is the same as dividing. So this is division, POE, which is step 2. This is why we call it a two-step equation. And one concept that I do want to reiterate is when it comes to fractions, you are dividing. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we're going to have the x. 24 divided by 3 is 8. And that's our final answer. Even though it appears that we did more than 2 steps, we really did 2 steps because we used 2 different properties of equality. And we can check it. All right? We can definitely check our answer by replacing 8 in our original equation with x. So 3 times 8 plus 7 equals 31. 24 plus 7 equals 31. Guess what? 31 is equal to 31. So that works out well. And I want you all to understand that when it comes to these different properties, as long as you use them correctly and consciously, you will always get the correct answer. All right, now we're moving on to our second problem. I wrote this on purpose because I wanted to show you how something that appears challenging is extremely easy. First, I see that I have a minus sign. I have to do the opposite, which is add. So let's use the addition property of equality. Cross out the 9. 22 plus 9 is 31. And then we have 4 over 5x. Again, for styling purposes, I'm going to rewrite this. So I'm going to do 5 over 4 because it's the opposite. It's the flip version of 4 over 5, or the reciprocal. Then I'm going to do 5 over 4. So since I see the 5s diagonally, I'm going to cross them out. Since I see the 4s diagonally, I'm going to cross them out. So I have x is equal to 155 over 4 because 31 times 5 is 155, and I had the 4 on the bottom. Okay? Or what I could have done was this. I could have did 31 times 1.25. Okay? Which I could further go by using Lord. I could further go by using the distributive property or using a calculator. Either or will work. Or what I could do is simply divide. I could just simply divide. So I know 4 would go into 15 3 times. I need four. I need 3 4s to get as close to 15 as possible. Then, so that'll be 12. So I'll have 35. Yes, I got 3 4s. Then that'll give me 12. So 15 minus 12 is 35. So with that, that'd be 8. Okay. 4 times 8 is 32. With 3 remaining. And I can also check it this way. Let's see if I still got it. 3. All right. So I got 38 remainder 3. And there you go. Which is 38.75, because with the remainder 3 is going to be 3 divided by 4. So, yep, that's correct. So it's always good and important to make sure that whenever you do the math, you check the way you do it, you check your methods. All right. And then we can go ahead and check it. Guys, I'm going to show you why I prefer the fractions a lot more. Because what I can do is this. I can do 4 over 5 times 155 over 4, which is equal to 31. So as you can see, the 4s are diagonal. So this leaves me with 155 over 5, which is 31. I need 3 5s to go into 15 and 1 5 to go into 5. You know what? I was a little bit premature with my steps, but I can still work with the original equation. So I have 4 fifths over, 4 fifths times 155 over 4. This is the original equation. Minus 9 equals to 22. As we just established, this is 31. Minus 9 is 22. 31 minus 9 will be 22 because 31 minus 10 is 21. Add one more. Since this was one more less than 10. 22. And there you go. We all checked off. So if you have any questions, drop them off in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. All right. Best of luck.